Yo, what's going on, guys? So, pretty excited about this, and I wanted to drop a video down on GME. So, obviously, we had a beautiful run up here since the last pump we had, and obviously it had a major correction, especially due to Robinhood and many other brokerages shutting off buying and only allowing selling, so that definitely stopped the run here short, but that's now going to be considered resistance. But okay, so this is going to be my attempt at some TA on GME. Now, of course, it's going to be volatile and it's going to be tough. I already made a few plays on this thing today. Honestly, last time I basically watched this thing go up, and I basically, was hyped for everyone that made a shit ton of money and felt sorry for everyone that didn't make any money and lost money. But I did run some trend lines recently during when this thing was up in like this area. I actually started making some TA, trying to run some shit, figure out what the hell happened here, so that if this in fact ever decided to pump again, I would be able to catch some support, sell some resistance, so on and so forth. So obviously you can see what I have here for a pattern and where we got this breakout here. And wow, obviously it was a fucking massive run up. So this, I don't know what this is, so I'm going to get rid of that real quick. But, yeah, this is going to be my attempt. So let's see what we can figure out here. So now it's funny because I had drawn this to be like, what the hell is this breakout supposed to be? Why did this break out like this? Obviously, the short squeeze ship, at the time I didn't know. But you can tell that basically when we fell back down, we attempted to catch some support on a couple of these support boxes that I have in here now, based off of old wicks here. So we wicked up here, we got resistance here at 158.94, and when we finally caught support on this line at 95.32, we had a beautiful run up and blast off here. 149.15 was also probably close to 150 just because it's an even number, it's psychological. Back here we kind of caught resistance here at 45.07, so on and so forth. And basically, let's see, was this already talked about? And then this was, I believe, was just a wick that ran up here. I could have moved it up a little bit, but roughly between 76 and 75. But I'm sure I have it there for a reason. But yeah, I guess I could move it. Oh, you know why? Oh, okay, because when this wick here came down, we perfectly tested this 75.05 as support, and then we ran back up kind of between those two areas, caught resistance back here at this 180. So either way, so I tried to run some stuff here, and as you can see here, if I was thinking about this, I mean, I might not have gotten the buy anyway, because I guess it didn't quite come down to my trend line here. But I was actually thinking about putting a purchase somewhere in this area just to fuck around. But I probably would have put it right here at like $38 even, and I wouldn't have got filled, so I probably would have been bummed. But needless to say, you can see that we had this beautiful little golden cross on the hourly here. Massive volume came in here. And, this isn't going to show where we are right now after hours. But where we closed was at 91.82. So in the stock market, sometimes, and a lot of times, we create gaps by price action moving after hours. So my potential theory, not saying for sure that that's going to happen, is if this price in fact comes back down here, it's very possible that we could come down and attempt to fill this gap here that we now have. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But for me personally, so I'll tell you what I did was a buddy of mine texted me and was like, hey, GME is on the move. And I was like, oh shit, really? and I saw it right around here at the 74.34 when he sent it to me, and it had broke through here, and I actually ended up just buying when we were just running up like mad, and I said, you know what, I'm going to buy right up above this line here, and I bought it right around 89.70. And even though it was a little bit risky because I knew that this 94 area, 95, was going to be resistance, but I said, you know what, I'm not missing the boat this time. I'm going to buy in. I think this thing's going to run up at least to, I was thinking 200, right? And we hit 200. So I was thinking about putting a sell order around 199, just because usually big evens, people would sell right under them. But I didn't want to get too greedy, so I put a sell order at 189. So I actually booked in around $400 profit off of that move. And it came back down roughly to this 0.786 here. It dropped a little bit below to about 131, something like that. But I actually put a purchase in right around this 136. I think I got in around 136.15 with just one share, just to screw around here. And the reason I did that was only and it was, just a small risk I didn't mind taking. So I'm holding on to one share at the moment at 136 or something. Now, originally, obviously, my average was lower, but I did want to swing that up, and I got a great sell, and it did drop back down. So anyway, basically, me holding that is just in case that I wake up in the morning and the buyers all came in and ran this thing up here or something to one of these fib lines, and I wouldn't want to be pissed at myself for not at least having one share. So I did actually put a couple purchases in. So there's a couple different areas here of support. I'm not really interested in buying anything above this 0.786 personally, so I will not be purchasing any more shares above these levels unless, of course, I'm watching and everything is perfectly, if we catch support on this 208, we come back test it, continuously back test it, get an hourly close above this 0.618 here. Maybe I would enter here, running up to the next fib level here. Maybe I'd sell it like 259, and maybe I'd just play some of these fibs if it works out perfectly like that or not. It's tough to know. I mean, it's going to be a volatile fucking stock. So we're going to have to just wait and see. But to start, what I did was I actually placed a few buy orders right at 95.50, and I did put those in before market closed today, so that if we did get a random like big drop down here to fill this gap, I would instantly get filled, and whether or not it comes lower, if it even does any of this, and then it continues back up here, that's what I'm going to have to wait and see here. Obviously, it's a risky move because if it does fill me there and it decides to run all the way back down here, but that's the risk I'm willing to take on this, and I will have my stop loss most likely just below this line here, and I'm not sure. I'll have to play it out. I'll play it by ear. I'm not sure where I'll put my stop loss. If I do happen to get filled and it just continues down, obviously that's the risk I'm taking by putting my buy order here versus just waiting. I'm expecting that if we do drop, we would potentially catch support here. So that's just where I'm at right now. And I'm hoping that we can get either a gap fill here or come back down and test any of this as support. But of course, you're going to have pretty good support here at this 133.83. And it did actually seem to dip to like 132.03 or something like that and bounce off it. But that's kind of my level here. So looking at these fib levels, you can kind of see the different levels here that's going on here. But I do want to take a look at and see if we can get anything here. Now, it's not that easy to run it's not that easy to run charts on these things because obviously we can run up pretty high. But now if we look at this hourly, we definitely did kind of stuff like this. You can see we triple topped right here during that big move last time. And those moves actually, were pretty solid moves here when this did occur. So let's kind of look and see how it was looking here. So we came up here Now, obviously, we ran up quite a bit right now, and the RSI is already in this area. So I'm curious to see how that's going to come about, and that's why I'm wondering if we'll just get a big RSI reset from where we are, potentially, come back down, catch support, head back up again. There's going to be a lot of people that were trapped up in this GME pump, so it's going to be a lot harder to potentially get as high as we did before, but you never know. I mean, you can see that on this hourly here, this red resistance box here is at 50.66. And then obviously we have all these supports here. So I'm not saying I'm expecting it to come down there. I'm just saying that I'm just basically saying that, I think that let's see what happened last time we got above this red resistance box here. We obviously had that beautiful pump here, and then we were underneath it. When we fell below it here, that's when we came down pretty hard. So that's just only on the hourly anyway. So let's look at the daily and see what we got here for support and resistance. So mainly, we have this support here, 61.05 on the daily. We have this daily EMA at 107.56. So we could actually catch support here on this daily if we do drop, and that would be around 108.40. So, that is a potential line if we don't, in fact, come down to this 95 area at all. And then, obviously we're up in the 188s, but we'd want to see us hold support at 160 at some point as well. But I don't know if I trust after hour movement. So that's why I'm talking about these lower levels, but we'll have to see. And then this purple Ichimoku cloud line here is actually up at 255.33 on the daily. So that's going to be very strong resistance as well. So let's see where it is on the weekly. And on the weekly, it's at 241.96. And then the white line here is at 248.49. So I'm kind of thinking that even though, of course, we could wick all the way up like we have prior, because this was roughly in the same area, it's going to be obviously your first big resistance right in this 240 if we do in fact get there. So you can see on the weekly RSI got a nice bounce. On the daily, we're just starting to roll up here, but a lot of price action can happen in between. So these are some fibs if you are playing this thing. Like we said, 254.69 to 241 is going to be some pretty good size resistance, and that 0.618 on mine is at 208.51. I was a little confused because I thought we would have a 0.618 at 200 or some kind of resistance at 200. So because we did have a pretty hard time getting above that. But let's see if it makes any sense to any of these candles here. So if you look at this candle right here, see that was right around 197.90 as well. So that was kind of a point we butt our head against. So that's kind of something to keep in mind here when we're trying to get above this 200 level. And then right here was 211.79. So that's pretty close to the fib. So this fib could be a little hair off as well. So but just keep these few numbers in mind. Now, I'm not too sure how this is going to play out. There's no way to tell ahead of time, of course. I love the volume. I think it's going to be volatile as hell. It's going to be amazing to watch and see how it runs and how it does. But just keep in mind these support and resistance levels, and run your own fibs. And if you are playing this, I don't know. It's pretty risky, but of course you have to have your risk and reward setups here. But yeah, let's just wait and see how this works out. So I'm pretty excited for tomorrow to see how this plays out, and I'm hoping that I can get filled and we'll get a nice bounce somewhere in this 95 level. But that's kind of where I'm at. But remember, this daily EMA here is at 114 or 113, something like that. Maybe it was 110. What about the weekly EMA? Well, we technically just came back down and tested that and dropped a little bit below. So we're way above that. So technically we're still in a bull market in this fucking thing, believe it or not. Pretty insane, though. Pretty insane stuff. So I'm curious to see how this thing does and if it does run up higher or not. I mean, obviously, a break of an old all-time high, too, is pretty insane because you could actually make a play off of that because above that, you get blue sky breakouts. I'm not saying that I'm expecting it to come there, but you never fucking know with this thing. So anyway, guys, just be safe. Use stop losses. Enter from positions of strength. Don't just FOMO buy in on these things because you see them running, but you kind of want to try to figure out where you have support and resistance so that you can buy and sell and flip it a few times on the way up. But if you guys like this video, hit the like button, please. That would be greatly appreciated. And share this video with your boys if you want, or subscribe to me if you're not subscribed. And if you want to take a screenshot of that, there are your fib levels. Peace.